In a cluttered but high-tech lab glowing with neon lights and humming machines, Raito and Shiro huddled over a curious invention, the multiverse-hopping remote. It was glitchy, sparking occasionally, and clearly unstable, but Raito couldn't resist testing it. Shiro, ever the cautious one, adjusted his glasses and gave a nervous glance. "If we end up in another universe," he muttered, "don't touch anything flashy." Raito smirked and, ignoring the warning, slammed a random button on the device. Instantly, the remote buzzed violently, and a swirling portal burst open behind them. Before either of them could react, the vortex pulled them in, warping reality around them in a rush of light and chaos. When the spinning finally stopped, they crash-landed into a completely different world, one unlike anything they had ever seen. They were surrounded by flashing neon signs, colorful explosions in the sky, and stacks of money floating gently in slow motion. Giant gold letters spelled out, $1 million giveaway, and confetti rained down from nowhere. Massive obstacle courses stretched into the distance, and bizarre challenges loomed ahead. They had entered a universe ruled by one thing: Mr. Beast's energy, wild, extravagant, and absurdly expensive. The camera cut through swirling smoke and flying debris as Raito and Shiro, two bewildered teens from who knows where, crash-landed onto a live film set. They knocked over a catering table and bowled through a pyramid of pool noodles. It was chaos. It was color. It was confetti. And right at the center of it all, standing tall with a megaphone and a camera crew, was none other than Mr. Beast. Golden hoodie and brimming with adrenaline, Mr. Beast bellowed into the camera, "Today, I'm giving away a $10 million gold toilet to whoever wins this insane obstacle course." Raito scrambled to his feet, brushing popcorn out of his hoodie. "Wait, is that Mr. Beast?" Shiro looked over, frozen. "And, is that Mr. Bean in a chicken costume?" Indeed it was. Mr. Bean, ever the silent comedic force of nature, flapped his wings and honked a rubber chicken as he jogged in place. Somehow, he had become part of this chaos, one of Mr. Beast's randomly selected wildcard contestants. No one really knew how or why. Not even Mr. Beast. But there was no time for logic. Mr. Beast pointed directly at the newcomers. "You two, you're in. Compete or lose your clothes." Before they could protest, staffers slapped number bibs on their chests, a klaxon blared, and a gate slammed shut behind them. They were now officially in the running for the world's most absurd prize. Cue slapstick music. Foam mallets swung, trampolines bounced, and glitter cannons fired indiscriminately. It was mayhem. It was madness. And it was just getting started. The chaotic energy of Mr. Beast's challenge continued to escalate as the trio faced the insane obstacle challenge. Their first hurdle was a trampoline lava pit filled with squeaky rubber ducks. Raito, embracing his role as chaos incarnate, bounced headfirst into the pit, triggering a cacophony of quacks and narrowly avoiding a dunk in the orange liquid. Shiro, ever the pragmatist, carefully navigated the trampolines, using the ducks as stepping stones where possible. Mr. Bean, meanwhile, seemed to float across, his saggy chicken suit somehow providing just the right amount of buoyancy as he accidentally propelled himself from duck to duck. Next, they tumbled into a room of trivia questions where wrong answers triggered glitter explosions. This was Shiro's domain. He breezed through the pop culture and obscure science questions, a smirk playing on his lips with each correct answer. Raito, however, was a walking glitter bomb. Every incorrect guess, and there were many, mostly involving his wild theories about mythical creatures, resulted in a dazzling, if disorienting, burst of sparkle. Mr. Bean, surprisingly, got a few right, mostly by pointing to answers he seemed to randomly pick, much to Mr. Beast's bewildered delight. The final segment of this challenge was a daunting maze guarded by laser-eyed cats. The robotic felines zapped anything that moved too quickly or in the wrong direction. Raito, true to form, blundered through, his cartoonish luck guiding him around laser beams that should have vaporized him. He'd trip, fall, and somehow end up on the other side of a laser grid. Shiro, strategic and precise, meticulously plotted his path, carefully observing the cat's patterns. And then there was Mr. Bean. He somehow befriended one of the laser cats, offering it his rubber chicken. The cat, seemingly confused by the gesture, simply powered down, allowing Mr. Bean to stroll past unmolested, a bewildered Mr. Beast watching from above. From his vantage point, perched on a gold-plated drone, Mr. Beast cackled with glee. "This is the best episode ever," he boomed, his voice echoing through the studio. A hush fell over the absurdly large crowd, and lights narrowed to a spotlight. Before them stood 3 identical boxes, gleaming, gold-trimmed, and ominously quiet. On a pedestal beside them, Mr. Beast beamed like a game show demigod, arms wide with manic enthusiasm. "This is it," he shouted. "Your final challenge, choose the box." Each box held something different. One promised fortune. One, nonsense. One, chaos. Raito, still sticky with marshmallow foam and glitter, rubbed his temples and squinted at the boxes. Without hesitation, he picked the one in the middle. It felt safest. He pried it open, and froze. Inside was a disturbingly realistic cake shaped like Elon Musk's head. The fondant eyes sparkled. The chocolate brain was exposed. It even smelled faintly of cologne. Raito groaned. Of course. Shiro, more methodical, circled the boxes, scanning with what little energy he had left. Then he pointed at the leftmost one, knelt, and cracked it open. Inside, a small, metallic key engraved with coordinates and the words "property of Starship Zeta 9. "A real spaceship," he whispered, almost in disbelief. Before either could say more, a faint, came from the rightmost box. Mr. Bean, silent all this time, tilted his head like a curious cat. With the solemn grace of a mime, he gently lifted the lid. Boom! The box exploded in a brilliant flash of glitter and confetti. A massive burst of pressure launched Mr. Bean high into the air like a cartoon firework. He flailed silently as sparkles followed his upward arc, twinkling like fairy dust in the stadium lights. The crowd erupted. Mr. Beast threw his arms in the air, triumphant. "Congratulations! You win! A lifetime supply of chaos!" Confetti cannons fired. A costumed llama moonwalked across the stage. Fireworks exploded in unnatural colors. A choir sang a jingle that made no sense at all. Raito sighed, holding the cake head like a cursed relic. Shiro stared at his key, wondering if it was too late to back out of interstellar travel. And high above, still glittering slightly, the crowd started to disperse, still buzzing with excitement. Foam cannons hissed one last puff into the air, and the glitter from Mr. Bean's impromptu flight settled like fairy dust across the stage. Off to the side, Raito and Shiro stood together, breathless and battered, clutching a strange-looking remote with a blinking red button. Their ticket out of this madness. The spaceship key was tucked safely into Shiro's belt, while Raito still clutched the disturbingly lifelike Elon Musk cake with reluctant commitment. Behind them, Mr. Beast was still riding high on adrenaline, a natural force of spectacle. He leaned toward them, eyes sparkling with mischief. "You sure you want to go?" he asked, grinning like the devil with a giveaway. "Next episode is Last to Leave the Moon Wins It. We've already rented the rocket." Before either could answer, the sky literally tore open with a whistling shriek. Mr. Bean, still wearing a slightly melted chicken costume, crash-landed with a spectacular puff of glitter and debris at their feet. He rolled 3 times, sat up, and triumphantly raised a golden spoon into the air like a knight presenting Excalibur. No one questioned it. Shiro glanced at the spoon, then at Mr. Bean, then at Mr. Beast. He exhaled slowly. "Let's go before we become permanent cast members." Raito didn't argue. They hit the button. In a blink, a burst of light surrounded them, a warping shimmer that crackled with dimension-bending energy, and they vanished. Only a beat later, Shiro cursed from somewhere in the multiverse. "We forgot Mr. Bean." Post-credit scene. Darkness. Then a sudden, over-the-top jingle. Bright lights flooded the screen. Mr. Beast stood proudly in front of a military-grade submarine half-submerged in tropical water, holding a waterproof megaphone and grinning ear to ear. "Welcome to Hide and Seek, Nuclear Submarine Edition." Beside him, wearing aviator goggles and a serious expression, was Mr. Bean, completely silent, completely ready, holding a periscope like a sword. He nodded solemnly. Cut to black. Boom! A logo slammed the screen in glitter. The madness isn't over. Not even close.